Hey, good morning. It's Valerie here, a clinical psychologist and advocate for a world without burnout. It's a lofty ideal. It's something that I believe so passionately about. This live stream is not planned. First and foremost, I just want to say welcome to my page. I'm incredibly grateful and encouraged that there are people who have already followed me on this page to journey with me to build an arsenal against burnout, and also to create an awareness for just how important it is to daily to just think about the topic even in our personal lives. So I have to say, everybody, this is an unplanned live stream because I've got a fire in my belly today. I've got a real fire in my belly today. And before I forget or ground it or just process it for myself, right, which is what tends to happen. There's a real fire in my belly, and then I get into a reflective space, and then I process it, and then I absorb it into myself, and then I give it out to my clients. I wanted to actually give it out to you. So why do I have a fire in my belly? It came about from two instances that happened to me this week. First of all, I'm actually feeling quite sick, quite ill. And I was starting to become aware that I was actually feeling ashamed. I was ashamed that, oh my goodness, you're a prevention against burnout advocate, and here you are feeling sick. And of course, because other people know the work that I do, started to feel concerned for me and say, oh my gosh, Valerie, are you burning out? You need to take care of yourself, etc., etc., etc. And I really absorbed that into myself, and I thought, oh my goodness, yes, what's happening? But I reflected on this and I reminded myself, and this will be what I talk about in the live stream on Monday. Burnout actually is a syndrome, right? It comes with a collection of symptoms and a collection of symptoms that actually predominantly cluster into three main areas. Classically, that's what burnout is. Burnout really is the end game, right? Once you reach those clusters of symptoms and those three areas are impacted, you are burnt out. Just like a match that the flame is, or a candle where the flame has gone out, it's all burnt out. It's gone. It's the end game, right? So I don't think I'm at the end game. I'm just sick. I'm just sick, right? And that happens to everybody, and part of resilience is being able to actually assess where what you need and assess how to recalibrate. It's like riding a bicycle, right? You got to kind of accept that the road gets bumpy, your bicycle gets a little wobbly, and you as a person, you get a little bit impacted as well, and you recalibrate. So a resilience posture is really being able to identify which system is impacted, problem solve so that that system is looked at, and then keep going. So as I reflected on that, I thought to myself, yeah, it's positive self-talk to be able to say to yourself that we do get sick and we do need to make sure that we take care of ourselves. Because it reminds me of a time when I was actually getting ready for therapy, and that probably was a time when I was burning out. And I walked in and the client actually said to me, are you okay? You don't look well. And I realized that, my goodness, if I don't take some time personally to figure some of what's draining me and burning me out, my clients are not going to get the best of me, and they're actually going to start to feel like they need to take care of me. So that was the first thing that prompted my fire in my belly, is to actually, for us to start to normalize that it's actually okay to have times where we are tired. It's okay for us to have times where we are sick. And that we can celebrate that if we identified that there's a vulnerability at that point in time, that we took the time to actually to stop, to refigure, think about what we needed, whether we needed to actually call in sick for our work, whether we needed to outsource the cooking for that day, whether we needed to call someone to say, look, administratively, can you just help me this week? That's a resilient posture. The second thing, which is actually probably giving me a much bigger fire in my belly, much bigger, is that the noise that I hear, good morning, if you're joining me, throw me a like so I know who's with me. The noise that I'm hearing around me that equates the helping profession with this downtrodden, beaten picture of you can't make money from this. Like, how can you make money from helping people? You've got to give, and not be seen to be in a thriving or flourishing space. Now that really irks me, and that's what my fire in my belly is about today. So I want to recast the picture to talk about burnout and resiliency from a helping professional, but even if you're a mum or someone who is taking care of someone else, it all boils down to the two concepts of capital and resources. Capital and resources, okay? We have got to build the capital within ourselves in various systems when we are taking care of people. Our physical capital, our body, our relational capital, the people who support us and who we get input from, our intellectual capital, the knowledge that we bring to the table when we're helping people, our financial capital, so that we actually have the ability to have the finances to continue to do that work, our spiritual capital, so our convictions and our meaning center when we're doing the work. There's so much more, but what I'm trying to say is it takes a reservoir of capital, right? Whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, intellectual, or financial, or relational, to actually help people. And each of those capital pools require resources. And none of those capital pools or resources is higher or better than the other. Oh my goodness. Please spread this message around. Money isn't evil. The financial capital doesn't trump the social capital. The social capital doesn't trump the physical capital. All are equal, all are needed to help people. And so being able to look into the capital that you have, that's sort of your static stuff. Like, what do you have in your pool that you can draw on? And then your resources, what else is needed? What do you need to pump into that, like petrol, so that all of those systems are going? Is an intentional daily exercise. And unless you know what that person is going through in their own mind to calibrate all of those systems, do not judge. Do not judge it, right? Now, I'll finish with what really got me thinking about this so strongly is I was sitting with an accountant yesterday and we were talking about the difference between a profit and a not-for-profit, profit and not-for-profit. And I was struck by this concept that even when you are a for-profit organization in the helping professional, right? Your ethos as a business owner is highly more than likely driven to be thinking about how long can I keep this service going so that we can reach more people, so that we can help more people. And when that ethos is driven that way, you then have to think about your organizational resources. How many people do I need to get on board so that we can keep the engine going? And for those people, what do they need so that they don't burn out, so that their financial resources, their support resources, their organizational resources are all tanked up, right? So even if you're a for-profit, your thinking is to keep your company viable, because nobody is going to hand you a golden egg to keep it going. Nada, nobody. Nobody, right? You've got to build the financial capital to keep all those other things going. Number one. Secondly, the non-for-profit. Even at the end of the day, if you're a non-for-profit, you're raising funds. People still have to pay you. Money has to go from somewhere. Financial resources are equally important to all the other resources. So you've got to bring that in, right? And if you're going to bring that in, you need to demonstrate some kind of financial accountability, some sort of credibility, a service that is really needed. And what the accountant actually said to me, that even if a not-for-profit winds up, at the end of the day, you take whatever money is sitting there in the bank that hasn't been used, you pay it forward to another organization. And that really got me thinking that therefore, all the more, even if you're for-profit, non-for-profit, you want to build some great financial resources to pay it forward. When you're a for-profit, it's to pay it forward to the personal, organizational, and work resources that you have, that you can build a better service for people in the community going forward. For the non-for-profit, same deal. And then at the end of it, you have resources, financial resources, to give to another organization who can pump into their human capital, into their technical capital, into their financial capital and resources to pay it forward. So That was my big fire in the belly moment this week. And I thought to myself, let's stop making financial resources the thing that stops us, the thing that judges us, the thing that hinders us, the thing that is on the table in the conversation when we're saying burning out, or it's not all right for us to actually be in a thrive position when we're a helping professional. I shall leave you with that thought. See you later.